find myself reflecting on the trip this far, from the work that we're doing in the village, to the community members that I've met, and the children that have touched my heart, and just the amount that I have seen and learned. I found myself stepping outside of my comfort zone daily, and by the end of the trip, craving even more, because I have never had an adventure like this.
Hello, staff and students at the International School of Minnesota. Thank you so much for taking some time to explore the Dominican with us. My name is Tyrell, and I'll be guiding you for about 20 minutes to show you a little bit about what you can expect in the Dominican, tell you a little bit about Meet a Wee and Free the Children, and I'll start off by talking about myself. As I said, my name is Tyrell Grolman, and I'm a school engagement coordinator here at Meet a Wee. What that means is I help incredible schools like yours plan their volunteer experiences. I also am a trained facilitator and get to facilitate some experiences. I was fortunate enough to get to go to the Amazon with some students from your school this previous summer, and we had an incredible journey. Here's just one picture to prove that. I was born in a small town called Owen Sound, Ontario, here in Canada. I was sort of a unique kid. When I saw different social injustices, I would get really angry. When I saw somebody litter, I would get upset. When I saw evidence of gender inequality, I'd get this funny feeling in my stomach. When I first learned about racism and the Ku Klux Klan, I was so angry, I actually cried. I didn't know why this was happening in the world, and I was extremely upset. I didn't know what to do with that anger, so naturally, I picked up boxing. I thought I might become a professional boxer. That never worked out, and I ended up at the Goodman School of Business here in St. Catharines, Ontario, and I studied finance. I then began a career at Investors Group as a financial consultant, where I was helping people, but not in a way that was necessarily rewarding for me. That's when I heard about Meet a Wee and Free the Children, the incredible work they were doing to empower communities around the world to break the cycle of poverty and empower kids here in North America to know that they're powerful, that they can make a difference. So I joined Meet a Wee, and I haven't looked back. I joined this incredible team, and I love helping schools go on these incredible experiences. I joined the movement just like you have. The movement from me thinking to we acting. Meet a Wee. It's not just the name of our social enterprise, it's our guiding philosophy. So as you know, Meet a Wee not only sends incredible volunteers like yourself to communities around the world, but we also donate half our profits directly to those development projects that you're volunteering on. I wanted to send a huge thank you to everybody at the International School of Minnesota. You are amazing. Everybody at Meet a Wee and Free the Children thanks you. I also wanted to send hola amigos and gracias to Carmen, Carlos, Jalen, Charlie, aka Fee, Nico, Senor Morales, apologies for my poor pronunciation of Spanish, and Mr. Michaud. You were incredible on the trip last year and on the years previous. Thank you to everybody that's done all that incredible fundraising work. We love working with the International School of Minnesota, and we're so excited to have you join us in the Dominican this year. You may have heard the story before, but I get so inspired every time I tell it. This is Iqbal. He was born in 1983 in a small town in Pakistan. This is Iqbal. When Iqbal was 4, he was sold to the carpet mafia to pay off a debt of $16. He'd work tirelessly for hours on end, tying thousands and thousands of knots. This is Craig. He was born in 1982 in Thornhill, Ontario. When he was 4, he used to love riding his tricycle up and down the driveway. This is Iqbal. When Iqbal was 10, he broke free of child slavery and traveled the world speaking out against the carpet mafia. This is Craig. When Craig was 10, he was learning his times tables, playing soccer, he was hanging out with friends after school. When Iqbal was 12, and when Craig was 12, he read this article, the article that changed his life, the article that inspired him to go to school, challenge his classmates, gather a group of 12-year-olds that eventually started Free the Children, the article that started him on a path, that started him on a journey. A journey that eventually took him to Bangladesh, took him to India, it took him to Pakistan to see Iqbal's grave, a journey that inspired him to take that group of 12-year-olds, take Free the Children, and grow it into an international charity. Craig's journey was the inspiration for Me to We trips. So on a Me to We trip, you're going to get to go volunteer in a developing community, change that community's future. You're going to get to immerse yourself in this beautiful new culture and develop yourself as a leader. In 2014 alone, 104 projects were completed, and volunteers were crucial in the completion of those projects. So schools were built, teachers' accommodations were built, hospitals were built. So many amazing projects that would not have been completed without volunteers like you. Not only did the communities benefit from students traveling, but they also did as well. We find that students that go on a Me to We trip come back more confident to stand up against issues that they're passionate about, so they don't have to pick up boxing gloves. They can find solutions to those problems. They also value their education way more. Not only do they value it more, but they can use this experience on university applications. And even going beyond university, employers love to see a Me to We experience on a resume because it means you have so many of those 21st century skills that are hard to develop in the classroom, like problem solving, teamwork, leadership, some critical skills that you'll develop on a Me to We trip. Now that I've done a lot of talking already, let's actually get into the trip. So we work in Dominican Republic for a few reasons. To give students a chance to see what the rest of the country is like, to see the Dominican Republic away from resorts, see how other parts of the country are living, and also because of some of the social issues and economic issues that are prevalent throughout the country. So that includes things such as racism, poverty, lack of access to education, all things that we're working with community members to combat and find solutions to. That gave you a quick visual of what it may look like while you're there. Throughout the entire journey, you will be accompanied by 2 Me to We facilitators. They will meet you at the airport at Puerto Plata and will be with you until departure. You'll make an incredible connection with them. They're 2 of the most fun, intelligent people you'll ever meet in your life. And they're more than just tour guides. These are your facilitators. That means that they're there to help you make meaning of your trip. So if you see something that is confusing or you don't understand, these are the people you go to with those questions. And if they don't have the answers, they'll be able to help you find them. You'll be staying at a boutique hotel just outside of Sosua, a beautiful location, very comfortable, very clean, and it's a great place to reflect and relax and think about what you've been seeing and rejuvenate yourself and get energized for the next day. There's a pool that you'll be able to use, again, just for relaxing after those long days on the build site. Here's just a look at inside one of the rooms. You can see very comfortable bed, pillows, bedding, everything like that is included. Everything you would expect in a Western style hotel. Every room has its own bathroom. Bedrooms, of course, are gender divided, and there's going to be anywhere between 2 and 4 per bedroom. On your first or second day, you'll enter the community that you'll be volunteering in. And this is something that you'll remember for the rest of your life. Having these young kids run up to you, smiling with huge smiles, just wanting to play with you, get to know, learn your name, tell you theirs, high fives, whatever it is, you'll always remember these kids and family members that you meet. In the Dominican Republic, there's such an amazing culture of friendliness. You'll see it on the build site for sure, whether the community members that you're working with break out in song or they break out in dance. You'll really get a sense of how jovial and high-spirited this community is. Despite the poverty, you're still going to see community members with huge smiles on their faces. You're going to see kids with extreme ingenuity. You're going to see kids just playing with something that you wouldn't recognize as a toy, but it could be a kid with some sticks and a garbage bag and string, and he's turned it into this perfect kite that he's flying like a magician. Or you'll see kids playing baseball with a stick, an old tennis ball, mounds of garbage as their bases, and they're just having such an incredible time. It'll be a great experience for you to explore how kids in different economic backgrounds are having fun, are enjoying themselves, and are learning as well. One of the big issues in Dominican is lack of access to accessible school buildings. So as you can see in this background, there's amazing schoolrooms being built in the back, whereas previously schoolrooms were cramped, unsafe, and not conducive to learning at all. So you're going to these communities to make a huge difference, to build amazing classrooms where kids can go learn and improve their lives and improve their families' lives. You'll get a chance to try a few different jobs. You could be mixing cement, you could be digging trenches, you could be building a wall. Just know whatever it is, it's having a massive impact, and it won't be easy, but it'll be completely worth it when you see how much you've actually accomplished while you're there. You'll get a chance to talk to a local development expert. This is actually an American woman that's moved to Dominican, married a Haitian man, and has started Project Esperanza. This is an international development project that is going towards supporting local migrant Haitians. So you may or may not know, but local Haitians that were not born with Dominican parents are no longer being recognized as citizens of Dominican Republic. So that makes it very difficult for them to find work and feed their families. So this is a project going to support them, give them access to things like employment, and it's just an incredible opportunity for you to come with lots of questions and learn what international development even looks like. To explore the community a little bit further and explore the economic realities of the community that you're in, you're going to get to go on a community walk, which will be led by a local community member. So you'll be walking down this tight alleyways with houses that are made out of tarps and slabs of wood, and then you'll be come around this corner and see what looks like a middle income or a middle class home with a truck in the laneway. And it's a little bit different than the communities that we usually work in. We're usually working in communities that are very rural, but in the Dominican Republic, there is a mix of very poor and middle income and rich, and you'll just get to explore what that means and how that can be such, there can be such a contrast of income in such a small little area. You may even get to duck into one of these houses of the local community members because of that strong relationship we have. You'll get to see how they live right inside their house. So there could be 6, 8, 10 people in this small little cramped house, and that'll have a huge impact on you. It's not all sadness. Like I said, you're going to be in this culture of such positivity and kind-heartedness and high spirits. You'll get to play a game of baseball against some of these local school children and see how happy they are when they're playing baseball. I'm not sure if any of you know, but Dominican Republic produces a lot of talented baseball players. David Ortiz, anyone? So he actually sponsors a lot of these school kids to not only learn baseball, but go to school as well. So you'll get a chance to interact with kids on the baseball field. Definitely bring your A game and bring your energy. You'll get to go on a cable car ride up Mount Isabella. This is a great place to bring your camera, but also a great place to talk about some of the issues that you've been learning about. Some of the Dominican Haitian border issues, like things such as why is the Dominican so green and lush while Haiti is so brown and a lot drier? Why has the Haitian GDP per capita halved since 1980, cut in half? Or the Dominican one has quadrupled. What has caused that? While education system in Haiti is slightly better than in Dominican, but they have not seen any improvement into their GDP. So a lot of interesting social issues, very complex social issues that you get to explore, start to think about, and you'll really be challenged to think in a new way. Throughout the entire trip, you'll be seeing things that you might have never seen before. You'll be talking about things you may have never talked about before. You'll be learning about yourself. You'll be developing yourself as a leader, and you'll bring a lot of useful skills out of this trip. You'll learn so much about who you want to be. You'll have a lot of questions answered on this trip, which leads me back to the original question that I asked you. What's your legacy? So many questions are able to be answered on a meet-a-week trip, like what inspires you, what motivates you, what do you want to do after high school, what impact do you want to have on this world? Some of those questions bring with you, and some you might be able to find some very unique answers to them. So I invite you to talk about this experience with your friends, talk about it with your classmates, talk about it with your families, see if it's right for you, and if it is, we'll be so excited to see you in the Dominican. Some of the more logistical information. The trip dates are from July 6th to the 13th. That is an 8-day trip, and the total cost is $2,800. That's American, and that includes everything. Round-trip airfare, accommodations, all meals, all snacks, purified bottled water, all your transportation while in country, all activities while in country, 2 meet-a-week facilitators, and your in-country guide and team. The only things that aren't covered in the cost are travel, medical insurance, visas and vaccinations, and spending money. Spending money is just for any souvenirs that you might want to buy for your family back home. To register your spot on this trip, there are a limited number of spaces. You can submit your deposit and enrollment form to Mr. Michaud. That's $250 by October 30th. And then trip registration and final payment won't happen until the spring in April.